What game and for how long have you been lost in just one game? For me, it's actually a newer game. Not new, but I mean, PlayStation era. It was Saga Frontier. I'm one of the few people who will defend that piece of crap. I love it. I love the pre-rendered backgrounds. I love how it's like 7 different RPGs, but they give you almost no direction, and I've gotten more lost in that game than I have Legacy of the Wizard for the NES.
As a kid, Top Secret episode, the freaking maze in Rio de Janeiro, which I didn't beat until I got to college. Absolutely just mind-bogglingly difficult and complex. I always say that. However, the number one game that I probably to this day, that's a game like games that were difficult, I still managed to beat when I was older, like Ninja Gaiden and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Couldn't beat it as a kid, but when I got older, I could beat them. A game that, if you gave it to me now with no cheats, I would still not be able to beat it today, would be Return to Zork on the computer.
Yeah. Return to Zork has just so many ways to fuck you over.
Put a gun to my head, I would not be alive if you gave me 2 days to even beat that game.
Get that plant, but get that plant the proper way. Dig it up as to not damage the roots. Don't just pull the plant from the pot.
Yeah, get that meat, make sure it doesn't go right or right. You know, it's like shit like that where that's where Sierra got it right. We're getting rid of that shit where you'd lose the game early on and not realize it, where Sierra did away with that bullshit.
They never really did.
They kept more of the
LucasArts was more of the we're more friendly towards that.
Well, LucasArts kept it more toward the environment, do the puzzles in the one environment.
Right.
But a game like Space Quest, you couldn't get farther and fail later. A game like King's Quest, I think, did away with that for the most part later on. But I think I haven't played
King's Quest 5.
Did it have that?
Yeah, dude, you get a pie, and you think the first thing you should do is throw the pie at the person who's acting like a jackass, and you, like, need it, like, an hour later to throw at a Yeti.
Oh.
And if you've already thrown the pie, you're fucked. No, Sierra games were never not full of those, like, you're fucked 2 hours later.
Oh, okay. But for some reason, it always seemed at least I could beat those.
If you take your time, I mean, with the exception of things like the pie, if you take your time, you're gonna be okay.
Okay, but those were don't use an item the wrong way. In Zork, it was make sure you get the items in the proper order at the proper time and collect them the proper way, which was just like ridiculous. And then you had to do stuff in Zork like there's a part where I had to buy the cheat book. Yeah, I had to. I had the game for like 4 years and I couldn't beat it. I think it was one of the games that came with my Sound Blaster 16 set.
I'm gonna need a cheat book called Depends if we don't finish up these last.
It's not my fault you drink. Where depends. There's a part in Return to Zork where these two dwarfs talk to each other. They're like mining dwarfs.
Dude, it's all over the game.
But this is what's the worst part. And there's a third one, and they start talking about like how they should build something, and they start saying, "All right, I want this left, right, center," and it's like a 35-second thing. Mm-hmm. You have to write those down for the minecart sequence later and follow those exact directions.
Yeah.
There's no way for you to realize that until you there's no way unless you guess that, oh, that's for the minecart thing later on. Just shit like that it's not even intelligence. It's just guesswork and just utter bullshit. Okay, moving on.
Well, as much as I love adventure games, there are a few that fall victim to that sort of thing.